many will. And a part of that amazing O2O services is the largest urban migration in human history. And if you look at the Chinese cities, there are 54 Chinese cities with 2 million people, and only four cities in the U.S. with over 2 million people. And when you have 2 million people and a very high population density, what that means is really two things. One is there's a large number of middle-class people who are ready to enjoy these services. They can have more time back on their hands. They can live more efficiently. They can enjoy all the good food. They don't have to waste time in car rides and going from one place to another. But another very important thing is there's a large number of blue-collar population that's ready to join the service economy and become the service provider. Perhaps they're the delivery person to your home. Perhaps they are the nail manicurist who comes to your home. Perhaps they are the e-commerce Taobao store owner. Perhaps they're the Didi Kuaidi driver. So there's a massive number of people who are now getting employed as a part of this urban ratio. This just isn't going to happen in the US. Yes, the first part exists, large number of middle class plus people. That's certainly great. However, these people are not in densely populated cities, nor is there a large number of blue-collar level workers in the US ready to accept $3 an hour for going home to home to clean people's homes or doing their nails. But that population exists in China. So that magical match between a decent-sized middle-class people and a large number of blue-collar workers who are all eager to get more convenience, more efficiency, and make more money. And that's really a match that's magically made. That really isn't possible in any other economy in the world. One could argue, Hong Kong, Singapore, Taipei, maybe these are examples, or Tokyo or Seoul, examples of cities like that. But China has 54 of these cities. So when you have 54 of these cities, you build something in one city, you expand to 25 or 30 or 40. Before you know it, you have makings of $1 billion company. Because the internet is all about building a brand and connecting people across a large number of geographies and creating more value and getting venture capitalists to put more money because you created that value. So China is really the only country in the world that can take advantage of this great urban migration and this great increasing number of middle class as well as blue-collar workers. So these mega cities are making possible these types of services. You've probably heard about some of them. I'll take one example as our investment called Xinkeduo. This is probably not the kind of a company you'd expect Innovation Works to invest in. It's a barbershop. However, this barbershop is very special. It's an O2O barbershop. It's a Kuaijian. Okay, so it's got one very small salon that seats 4 people. So the rent is very, very low. And you've got 4 stylists who work there. And their work is very simple, very predictable. They don't wash, they don't perm, and they don't color your hair. They just cut. So, and they do it very quickly. It's 15 minutes per haircut, and they can do 11 different hairstyles. You go in, you get a menu, you point at one of them, you get that. They get to about a B quality haircut, and the cost is 20 renminbi, right? So it's incredibly efficient, inexpensive, a perfect fit for about 70% of men and maybe 20% of women who are going to get a B haircut for 20 renminbi in 15 minutes. And you're more or less guaranteed a seat when you get there. There's no waiting. Why is there no waiting? Because it reminds you when you need a haircut using WeChat. And then you can tell which stores don't have to wait. And you can potentially reserve a space. You go and get a haircut from a different person each time, but it's the guaranteed B-level haircut. Okay? If you're lucky, maybe it's A-, but never below a B. Because these stylists are trained by a special school. Okay? And then when you're done, you use WeChat payment. You're out of there. So it's incredibly efficient for the busy urban worker. So how much is that company going to be worth? Well, if you open one of them, it's not worth that much. But if you open maybe 100, then it's something. But if you open 5,000, then that's $1 billion company, right? If you do the math, each of such salon is 12 hours a day, 4 stylists. And if they can do 3 per, let's say 3 per hour, so that's 3 times 12 times 4 per day times 365 times 20 RMB. So you do the math, and times 5,000. Yeah, you can convince yourself that could be $1 billion company. And why is that magic possible? Well, it's because it's not just a haircut. It is about WeChat, mobile, location, because you got to know where you are, how far to get to one. And it is about scheduling. It is about shared economy. It's about resources being used. So if you go to a normal barbershop, probably 80% of the time, the barber's there reading a newspaper, right? So that's a resource that's wasted. But here, they're always busy. But it's good to be busy because they get paid based on how many people whose hair they cut. And then their pay is proportional to the user's rating. It's like you've taken Uber, right? Or Didi Kuaidi, you rate the driver, so you rate the stylist. So that's an example of a very simple traditional business that could potentially turn into $1 billion O2O business. Obviously, there will be many competitors. This one may or may not succeed, but it gives you an idea if a haircut can be $1 billion business given how large the market is. Well, there are many, many other things that could be. In fact, Yidaixi laundry service already is $1 billion company. And I won't go into all the other details, but it gives you an idea. Pretty much every industry you can imagine, you add mobile, social, location, and shared economy to it, you probably got an internet business.